everybody. It's Brian here from quantlabs.net. Got one person on for this webinar, and hopefully have some more people join us in the next few minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the crypto versus forex debate. Which one's better? Which one gives you better performance? And the pros and cons of each. All right. So I've been over the last 6 months really been focusing a lot on crypto. There's a lot of benefits with crypto. As we know, the future of crypto is kind of wonky right now in terms of, governments clamping down on this and that. I just do think that you'll see taxes go up. You'll see more controls implemented in terms of no more cash, which means governments will be able to track what you're purchasing. So that really elevates the utilization of crypto. So as it stands right now with crypto, here's some of the big advantages you get with it. First of all, you can get really good returns when the markets are in an upswing. Certain markets don't allow shorting, so it depends on your exchange that you choose. And then the good thing is to get those kind of returns, you don't need a lot of leverage. You don't even need leverage at all. In certain exchanges like Binance, you can trade anonymously. You just set it up anonymously. You will have limitations, but for a small retail trader, those limitations won't really affect you too bad. Also, the crypto markets never close, so they're 24/7. They'll be open over all the major holidays like Christmas, Easter, whatever. This can be an advantage and a disadvantage. There's over 700 coins to choose from. Up until maybe 2 months ago, you would always be able to say, well, this coin's doing really well, that coin's doing really well, despite what's going on with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's suffering or goes into a flat line market condition, usually there's always a few coins that will outperform regardless where things stand. So that has been an advantage. Let's get rid of that. And, you have 700, well, actually you have over 1,000 coins to choose from, but anything that's tradable is probably in the neighborhood of, a few, maybe 100 or up to 200, 150 that are tradable, those coins. The other thing is with crypto, which I really, really like, I think it's a huge benefit that you do not get in any other asset class, and I'm sure there might be some questions that might come out of this, is they can be fully transparent. The certain exchanges like Binance, and they can show you the liquidated orders. So that will not just show you the quotes; they'll show the actual orders. If it's in the futures market for Binance, for example, you can see the actual amount that is being bought and sold, and what side if it's bought and sold. And that's something that is really important to help get real data and real reconnaissance on market direction on one of the 25, 26 future coins that you can trade with on the futures market. The other thing is with crypto exchanges now, OKX just announced this, that they're bringing in options. I think Binance has it available only through their mobile app. And the other thing is with the futures market, you get up to 125 leverage. So it's back to the glory days of where forex was pretty high in terms of leverage. But obviously, you got to be very careful on that. Any of you guys got any questions so far on what I'm talking about here on the pros of benefits of crypto? If not, I'll go into the disadvantages with it. Okay, so here's some of the cons. First one that's probably most people will know is that basically, unless you're in the States and maybe in Europe, just really depends on the exchange and where you are. A lot of people say that's not regulated, but for some that might be a benefit, meaning that you're not going to be controlled by governments and being spied on how much actual money you're bringing in for tax purposes and that sort of thing. One of the big things that people don't like about the bigger, higher volume exchanges is that exchanges are foreign held. So that means when you have, let's say, 1,000, 10,000, or even dare I say $100,000 in these exchanges overseas, the exchange goes bankrupt, the exchange gets hacked, you lose your account. There's nowhere to go. You have no form of insurance. You have no form of regulation to control that. So as I said, there's no insurance in the uh, exchanges. If you're in the States, it's different because they are regulated, like Coinbase or Kraken. But then you get what happened here in Canada with that one out of the West Coast last year, where the guy just took everybody's money and quote unquote died. So that can happen here, even though it was somewhat regulated. But people, I had one guy lost $250,000 with that broker. One of the other things that people will struggle with if they're not careful is that crypto markets are very volatile, highly volatile, and totally random. So what you think that you'd be able to get some form of predictability in crypto coins, you would, but you really don't, because let's say some non-farm payroll came out. Will it affect the crypto market? Probably not, but it can affect. If the commodity markets do get affected, it can and cannot and may not affect the overall crypto space. One of the other big drawbacks of crypto is, well, you could say the same thing about forex. Really, is depending upon the exchange, you're not usually going to get the best customer service. Like you call like a really good broker, like Thinkorswim. People seem to like the Thinkorswim support, or some other big broker, but you're not going to find it in the world of crypto. Um, and as I said, up until this year, the last few months, has been really no upward trend. So if you're in an exchange like, let's say, in Binance, and there's no upward trend, upward momentum for you to take advantage of when you automate your set of bots or one strategy or wherever you want, you will be challenged at trying to find decent returns, if you get returns at all over a period of a couple of weeks or even a couple of months. So you can be challenged with that. So that's pretty well all the cons. Anybody got any questions on that? If not, I can move on. Okay, so let's move on to Forex and CFD. I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't like Forex brokers. I've up until with crypto, I was all in with crypto. Building bots is a challenge in itself, and trying to get it profitable is another challenge. Anyone got a question out there, or if not, just type it away, or in the chat, or just yeah, just step in if you want. I got a question by audio. The next one. Okay, so Forex CFD, some of the benefits. It's a mature market. This is the one thing that I can say about Forex, and this can be also said for the futures market in currencies, which I think I'd rather go, is you get more predictability around it, around calendar events or news events. So you can get that kind of impact on the currency markets, and as I said, it can be much more predictable. With Forex, you can see more stable trends, and usually when the trends stay on, like they could stay on for a couple of weeks if the impact's strong enough, like trade relations or something like that. Yeah, here got somebody just joining here. All right, okay, so that's some of the benefits of Forex. Hey, Ali. Uh, so we've got here more stable trends. I just started looking at with MotiveWave today on some of the trends, and just today I can see a lot of trends. I could talk about it more, but I'm just seeing in the world of crypto, you got the hodling going on. I've written trading bots that with bugs in them, quote unquote bugs. Well, they are bugs, and they don't take off the position. But when you find out later, like a day later, the position's actually profitable, and it's profitable by quite a bit. That's obviously by fluke, but that can happen more. But with Forex, you get more of the benefits, which is good. So just sorry, I had to mute everybody. Just remove all that background noise. The other thing I like about Forex is you have here. You have oh, where am I going? Okay, here we go. Yeah, you can short and long in crypto, or sorry, in forex and CFD. You can be restricted quite a bit in large exchanges in crypto like Binance that may not allow you to short in the spot market, but you can obviously short and long in the futures market. Or I think you can short in the futures market, but it's through a margin account. So the other thing about benefits of forex and CFD is that it can be federally insured. Just depends upon where your broker is, where you live. For instance, being in Canada here, supposedly Oanda, like a broker, is federally insured and supposedly regulated, but yet I'm not going to sit here and say they cheat you, but I'll leave it for the next slide here. So moving into the cons of forex, what I find really frustrating with forex compared to crypto is that the moves are a lot smaller and they're slower. And then if you want to get some relative level of profit, you have to put on quite a bit of high risk leverage to achieve any form of decent profit, or you have to sit on a position like in a buy and hold type of strategy or scenario to get a return. Like if you put on a position at the beginning of May, waited out till now, a month later, you could do pretty good in the markets, U.S. stock market if you wanted. So there is some benefit if you're okay with that type of strategy. The thing is with automation, a lot of people will try to automate everything, including the execution and orders. I think that's a tough game to battle because it really comes down to timing. Like the whatever instrument you're watching can give you some form of trend. The problem is that even though you know the trend's coming and it's there, you're depending upon your time frame you're watching, it can be pretty tough to time it perfectly to get any form of decent return out of it. And on the other hand, there may be some luck involved to get that type of return. The other big thing I do not, and I just mentioned this earlier, I do not like forex brokers at all. A lot of them will cheat you. A lot of them will have a market making division that will trade against you purposely. Let's say, for example, in this next section, you have stop hunting, which seems to be pretty rampant in the so-called retail forex trading industry. The problem is when you put on a stop loss or even a take profit, and you trigger that back to the broker. What you're saying to the broker is, "I want out here." And what can happen is you will find that the broker, depending on the forex broker, they will cheat you and knock you out of the trade prematurely and just use the excuse, "Oh, that's our technology by mistake. Sorry." And you don't ever, a lot of times, don't ever retrieve the profit. And I hear that a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and mention which broker does what because who knows? They got lawyers. The other thing with the cons is these high risk spreads. So if you're watching like today, I noticed that some of these Scandinavian currencies look pretty good to trade, but obviously they got high spread. I haven't looked at it in detail, but if you're doing a buy and hold type of strategy or time horizon, let's say you're going to hold on a position for 2 weeks, a month, I don't know how spreads will affect you. They shouldn't. I mean, they probably affect you on a intraday level, maybe an hourly level, but on a long term trade, it should be something of not of concern if it's a buy and hold over a couple of weeks. That's pretty well it with everything on the pros and cons of each for forex and crypto. Anybody got any questions at all? I can unmute anybody. I'll watch the chat. Anybody got any questions or anything? You can talk about anything you want. Where's my chat? Anybody got any questions so far? Wait, can you hear me okay? Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, what I can do is, yeah, I can definitely do that. If I go to CoinMarketCap, we can look at the volumes of these exchanges. Just so you know, CoinMarketCap measures all the different volumes of the coins and exchanges. Okay, so the first thing is CoinMarketCap has been bought by Binance. Okay, so that's a hint right there of the exchange to go with. They're pretty clean. So you can see here that they're supposedly the biggest. Here, Huobi, Coinbase Pro, Kraken, Bitfinex. But you can see the daily volume between Coinbase and Binance is like, you know what I mean? It's just non-existent. So Binance is right up there, but all the other exchanges that were out of Asia have dropped off. Now, I don't know if this is manipulated or not, but that's the broker I'd definitely go with. Huobi, I can't really say. OKX, I can't really say. But if there was one I was telling you that you wanted to be on a global competitor level that seems to be pretty clean, it's Binance. So far, for now. So that's your best one. So answer your question. I mean, well, well, there is Binance US, but the Binance US, it's Binance.us. The volumes are really not very good compared to if you're going to stick with the US. But you can see Coinbase is really low. The problem with Coinbase is the commission fees are really high, but Kraken might be a better bet to go with. They have a better coin selection as well. So that's if you're going to go with a US based and they are somewhat regulated. Both are regulated, both Kraken and Coinbase, because they're US based. Does that answer your question? Okay. Anybody else got any questions at all? If you got another question, Sergey, let me know. Anybody else? If you want, we can make it really short today, this presentation. I'll be putting out more videos today. If you're not on my YouTube channel, obviously you might want to subscribe to that. That's where most of my stuff goes. Quant Labs, QUANT Labs, LABS. And I just put up 2 videos today talking about what I'm seeing in the CFDs and forex market. I wouldn't trade CFDs, but I've always said that the CFDs are a good poor man's gateway to the commodities market. For instance, here, if you look at most lucrative CFD and FX in the last 3 months, I'd be debating as a defense trade if the markets come off now, because they've been doing pretty good and there's been nothing but alerts going out that it will tank again, a major correction. The place to be, and I verified it just looking at my motive wave, if the markets do tank, there's certain currencies to be in that can be used for defensive. That would be things like Mexico, and as I said, Scandinavia, like Norway or Sweden, seem to be good places to hide out in, and you get performance there. In terms of CFDs or commodities, I looked at corn, looked good, and that's really not affected by the stock market. So you do have those type of trading opportunities, and they look good. The charts look pretty good. But when you look at crypto, because like I said, it's been pretty flat for the last little bit, the only thing that will give you a decent performance will be Bitcoin itself. And this was what really shocked me, is you want the best performance compared to all the Bitcoin against whatever fiat currency, be it Euro, USD. But the best fiat to perform with Bitcoin against was Japanese yen. And you get a little bit of decent performance with Bitcoin Cash against Japanese yen as well. So that's what I found in this video. So that's what I'm seeing. So from there, instead of trying to just build a set of bots like I have that will basically like be like a machine gun or a ray gun that will just attack everything, Here, if you look at using something like MotoWave, the platform that I have access to, you can use a platform like that to determine what are uh, your best performing instruments, and just focus on those and build a strategy around that, because there's no point in trying to uh, attack all of the instruments out there and hope that this one outperforms that one for the next hour or for the next day, because trading like that, you will take on a lot more losses from my experience. So I'd rather just follow a trend in something that gives you best performance. And I've already mentioned which ones look good in both areas, if it's FX or CFD or crypto. But that seems to be the best way to do it, to get maximum return with the lowest amount of risk needed to take those trades to get that kind of set of return. And the thing is with MotoWave, if you watch this video here, most lucrative crypto coins for the last 3 months, in there you'll find with MotoWave, you'll be able to use a tool like MotoWave and not just do a back test against which will give you the best performance, but which strategy will give you the best performance. And you can back test against any time frame. You can back test against any time period as well, and do it fairly quickly. And then from there, be able to take that momentum of the back test and then do a walk forward test to see if that momentum will hold into the future. So you can kind of do that with MotoWave. And as I said, building strategies around that seems to be a better way of being able to trade. Because here in FX and CFD, there seems to be more opportunity than right now with crypto. That's from what I'm seeing in from within MotoWave. But on the other hand, I've got reports that will show you certain little coins that you've never heard of that are doing really well, that you never heard of, and they're doing really well, be it if it's over a month or be it over, let's say, 6 months, like year to date. So, but those are pretty harder to capture because, as I said, there's no predictability. There's no any form of calendar or news events that you can gauge how those coins will perform. That's a challenge of crypto. Anybody else got any questions? I don't mind this going on. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. Anybody else got any questions? If not, I can tear down this session. Anybody got any challenges, questions, comments, criticisms, anything? It doesn't bother me. Let me type it up and make sure. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Awesome, thank you. Any comments, questions? Anybody? I'll be doing another one of these next Monday, 7 p.m. If not, I'll do it going once, twice, and then we'll just wrap her up. No questions for you? You sure? I could try. You don't. Okay, you don't want me to address them right now? I could probably try to explain it, whatever you might have. What's on your mind? You'll leave it for another time? Okay, we'll do that. If Ali or Burdick. If not, I'll do it going once, twice, 3 times. If not, and we'll wrap her up. So do it going once, twice, 3 times. Nobody? All right, so I guess we're done for tonight. Like I said, I'll have another event for next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll post that on the meetups and everywhere else on the social media and stuff. But if you want to follow what I'm doing, just subscribe to the channel at Quant Labs and get yourself on that, and you'll be able to see what I'm posting and what I've been working on. And I do that pretty well almost every day now. Oh, no problem. No problem. Yeah. Oh, no problem, man. Oh, oh no, no problem. Well, like I said, I'll be doing another one next Monday. Whatever you need, just let me know, okay? And thanks again for watching and stuff. I really appreciate it. I got a question for, okay, so Burdick asks, I have a Binance account but need to use third party fund my account. Kind of cumbersome. Yeah, let me talk about that in a minute. And Sergey, I'll try to watch a few of your sessions, then have questions and send you email or talk over phone, Skype, Zoom. No problem there. I guess he's dropped off later. No, he's still there. All right, so let's talk about funding an account. The best one I can give you, there is what's it called? A Tezor, Tezor, Tezor wallet. I hope this is it. It's French. Um, yeah, Trezor. No, it's not. That's not what I'm looking for. It's a French one. Anyways, at the end of the day, I think it's this one. But I'm just, this is gonna bug me. I know there's two of them. These are hardware devices. So the one I have, I'm not sure if it's Leger. There, that's what I'm looking for. Leger. Sorry, my French is so bad. Anyways, let's talk about this. I have these little guys, Nanos, the Nano S, and they're really good. How they work is you can store a lot of different um, coins, different coins on there. You have a little little screen on these devices. They're really cheap, $90. You can store everything digitally on these. Each coin has what they call an app, and what you can do is you can then, because to transfer money from one from the wallet, the device here, these USB keys, you need to do it through a QVR code, through like it looks like a barcode, and then you just scan it on your phone through the phone app, and then on, let's say you go to Binance, all you're doing is just scanning through your phone on some app, and just scan it, the QR code, and then push a button to confirm, and it'll automatically transfer your coin amount, whatever you're transferring, onto whatever the blockchain is, or it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then just wait it out for the transfer to happen to move it and transfer it into Binance, which I've done numerous times. I don't have examples, but I'm sure. Actually, I know. I think I do. Let me see here. I did a site here at quantlabs.net. If you go into the blog and you do a search on tutorial, I think I talk about this. And I find it's more safe now to be on Binance than I do using anything else. And that might be a radical statement, but it's just there's so many levels of security with Binance and using something like the Ledger or the Ledger wallet. Um, it's pretty impressive. So if you come under here, crypto trading, quant analytics, I'll put this in the chat. Yeah, it's in the chat. I think there is a tutorial. So I go through the regular spiel of why Binance is good and all that. Yeah, it doesn't look like I've included how to fund the account. But I do know one of these two videos here, I do talk about it. Yeah, Binance register and deposit. So I do talk about it in this second video here. So you can go into more detail by watching that video. If you want to wait it out, I can capture that video for you. So I do have that as a small tutorial. But I do feel safer being on that And so I just put it in the chat if you want to capture that video. So I feel safer being on crypto with Binance than I do anywhere else. I feel safer actually with Binance than my own bank because, let's as an example, if you go into your account and your bank account and you have X amount of dollars in your account, but you want to pay off a certain merchant uh, through their point and click, and this has happened to me. You pay $300 on the account or the merchant, and you realize you made a mistake and you want to reverse it. It could take you 3 weeks to get your money back. But with Binance, those kind of mistakes don't happen at all. Like they're very very specific, very very rigid. Where you're transferring from one to the other, it's very much easier than just a quick point and click, and where you can mess up and then your money is held up for weeks on end. But I don't have those problems with Binance and transferring between, let's say, the Ledger wallet and the Binance. Now, the question a lot of people ask: how do you get the money from your account? With Binance, you could transfer money through a debit card in when you sign up for Binance. So I do believe I talk about it again in that same video. So yeah, that should help you out, Burdick, if I got your name right. Yeah. So I ramble on. Anybody else got any questions at all? If not, I'll do it a wrap for tonight. But do it go once, going twice, going 3 times. Thanks for watching. Like I said, keep your eyes out in the meetup or the sign up on my website here. All you have to do is just go to quantlabs.net, and then there's a little opt-in. You get 2 PDFs as well to show you how to do some other type of trading as well. I do Python and a Motivate the trading platform, so you can learn all that once you go to the quantlabs.net page. And then in there, it will offer you if you want the PDFs or whatever else. That's it. All right, so I'll be doing another session next Monday, and thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. And oh, no problem, no problem. Thank you. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night. Okay, or a good day. See ya. Bye.